Ladies and gentlemen, this will be a follow-up. I uploaded a response to the divorcee Stan Seder some time ago because the Democrats are wanting a tax hike while the economy stinks because, you know, the rich, the people who aren't paying any taxes, which are a lot of Stan's listeners, they're getting taken advantage of by the people who actually do pay taxes. So I endeavored to prove again that it's not the tax levels that are a problem, it's the spending. So I went through a whole bunch of metrics, and I added some recently, and I'll go over one more real quick. Whole bunch of metrics, means tested entitlement spending per 100,000 employed civilians adjusted for inflation, and all kinds of spending, mandatory spending. So if you've got an economy where the Congress and the president are spending like drunken sailors, and the labor force is shrinking or the growth is anemic, you're going to see this metric go through the roof. So see that previous video. I'll have the link to both of them. When I put it up on Rumble, I forgot to add a title. I went to work. Work, that's somewhere you go to make money, for you Democrats listening. You don't sit at home all day. Well, some of you do. Some Democrats do. Right, Dave? So I'll put links to that. When I forgot to put the title for the Rumble video, so they titled it July 13th, which is the default. If you don't put anything in there, I forgot to. But I'll have a link to both those. The one on YouTube and Rumble, if you want to watch it. So here are total national defense outlays, adjusted for inflation, per 100,000 employed civilians. From fiscal year 1962 to 1970, 53,804,000. I'll leave the link to it, too. You can look through this. I did all the work for you. Inflation-adjusted federal outlays for national defense per 100,000 employed civilians. Fiscal year 1978 through 81, 32,352,000. Keep in mind, Democrats like to complain about national defense, and there is some cutting that can be done, but they just complain about that. That's their boogeyman because they think it's the biggest facet of the budget. No, I hate to tell you guys, Social Security is larger, Medicare is going to be larger, mean tests and entitlements have been growing at a breakneck pace. So that's just their... we could get rid, the growth of federal spending. You could freeze the defense budget for the next 20 years, and we're still going to be running out of money. Fiscal year inflation-adjusted federal outlays for national defense per 100,000 employed civilians. Fiscal years 1982 through 89, 40,471,000. Now for fiscal year 1994 to 01, it went down. This is Bill Clinton. And as a Republican Congress, went down to 27,870,000. Fiscal year 2002 through 09, this is George W. Bush. It went up to almost 34,600,000, 34.6 million. Now, for Barack Obama and his Congress, fiscal year 2010 to 2017, it went up slightly, 35,886,000. Donald Trump. This is pre-pandemic, fiscal years 2018 and 19. Pre-pandemic, it went down to just slightly under 32 million. A lot lower than it was under Obama. Now, if that had been able to continue, if his economic growth had continued, and the wet dream the Democrats had about shutting down the entire economy and paying half their labor force to do nothing for a year or two, if that hadn't happened, would it have sunk down? His average would have been a lot closer to Bill Clinton's. So again, Trump... Inflation-adjusted federal outlays for national defense per 100,000 employed civilians, fiscal years 2018 and 19, just under 32 million. Now here's what it was in fiscal years 2020 and 2021, 35,875,000. So it wasn't growing as much as other facets of the budget. So again, it's never been the tax rates of the problem. The Democrats are going to spend, and some Republicans, like Chuck Grassley, for example, they're going to spend a bunch of money whether we have it or not. So that's just the rich are just their boogeyman, their convenient boogeyman. So again, it's not the tax rates, it's the spending, and it always has been. Have a nice day, and thank you for listening. And don't thank me now for the sobering information. We're in deep trouble.